So we acknowledge that the Students' Union operates on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and the Neutral Peoples. This land is part of the Haldeman Tract, which was promised to the Six Nations, and we recognize the enduring presence of Indigenous peoples on this territory. Um, Moving on to regrets, I have received regrets from Director Bilodeau. As of this moment, I believe, who is absent? Director DiLolo is absent, and I also received regrets from Director Zhao as well. Thank you. Are there any conflicts of interest to declare? No, okay, then let's proceed to the adoption of the agenda. Can I have a motion that the Board of Directors adopts the agenda as presented? Motion by Director Khattab, seconded by Director Murphy. Sorry. Seconded by Director Murphy. Is there any discussion on the matter? And then in that case, we'll proceed to voting. Any opposed? Any abstaining? And all of those in favor? 2, 3, 4, 5. Motion passes 0 to 10. Thank you. And can I have a motion that the Board of Directors approve the November 7th, 2025 meeting minutes? Motion by Director Murphy, seconded by Director Anas. Is there any discussion on the matter? And then, if not, can we proceed to voting? Any opposed? Any abstaining? And all of those in favor? Motion passes 0 to 1. Wait, hands up again, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, motion passes 0 to 9. All right, moving on to comments from the chair of the board. I don't have a lot of comments for you today. I just wanted to let you know that we have scheduled the board dinner for after our December 5th meeting. What was it?
Snap.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Love that.
I thought you were gonna say, oh, that day doesn't work for us, and I was gonna cry. Okay, perfect. It will be directly after our board meeting, so you're all invited. In fact, you all must attend. It's dinner on the OLC's budget. Yes.
December 6th, you mentioned?
5th.
5th, okay,
Yeah, I
perfect.
believe that's our next meeting, December 5th. So after that meeting, please clear your schedules and we'll be able to go have our board dinner.
And the board dinner's the board meeting would be at 1:30, so just following that.
Yes.
Okay, cool,
Yeah, I keep
perfect.
saying dinner, but it's actually not.
Yeah, because
Like a lunch.
I think we might have an event later that day, but if it's like if it's like a lunch kind of dinner, yeah, it'll be good for us.
Or what day?
5th.
5th.
Okay.
So the board. Yeah, okay. I also want to welcome our gallery as well. So we have the delegation from ISO here to visit us, and so thank you for coming. In that case, let's proceed to comments from Sach Preet, who is the VP of Programming and Services, in the absence of President Joby, who couldn't make it here today. Take it away.
Thank you so much. So Ryan has provided me with his updates, and I will just go as following. He has written it out for me. So the first one is an institutional VP update for the VP FA. The committee deliberation is today for himself, which is why he isn't here. And if there is a successful candidate that is chosen today, hopefully that can be brought to the next Senate next Thursday. And then if a successful candidate is not chosen today, another deliberation will be happening on Monday. Other hiring updates that you want to provide updates for is the Dean of Science committee has selected a successful candidate, which is good news. And then personal projects that Ryan has, office hours have been going well, so far. He's hoping to do more promotion on that just to get the word out. As well, athletics collaboration for an SU, so Students Union 50th basketball night is going really well. Promotion for that event will be coming soon, so you can anticipate that. As well as student engagement boothing is going very well on both campuses. And then finally, he provided an update on open house. So Student Union has successfully boothed on all 3 campuses for their open houses. But specifically, they're looking for getting better positioning for the Waterloo open house next time. And that concludes his updates.
Thank you, Sarchpreet. Okay. And then can we comments from Phil? But I guess Phil is not here today. So Ian.
Yeah, nothing beyond what's in the updates that are in the package.
Perfect. Thank you. Then I guess we can proceed to the SLL communication strategy from Ian.
Yes, so for those of you who don't know, the Student Life Levy is a fund that is produced through a fee that Brantford students pay, and it's basically a special projects type fund for the Brantford campus specifically. And one of the things that we're hoping to do is to raise more awareness amongst Brantford students that this is a fund they have available to them to propose projects that enhance student life on campus. So um, Phil had asked to bring this to the board to get some feedback on kind of effective communication strategies. So basically, how do we create more awareness about this particular opportunity for Brantford students? Are there any particular ways that the board might recommend that we kind of change up the way that we're letting students know that this opportunity exists? So that's the kind of the prompt, and happy to take kind of any and all feedback that the board has at the moment.
I think we should give some sort of basic info about the SLL committee as well. We had our meeting, was it yesterday? On Wednesday? Yeah. So the SLL, the Student Life Levy Committee is like a fund that Brantford students pay. It comes out of their tuition. And I believe the fund that we had this year was 215,000.
Yeah, it kind of varies from semester to semester based on the number of projects that have been previously funded. Essentially, it's a pool of money that will carry over depending on the amount of projects and the funds proposed. So it's a pretty decent amount of funding available, and there's pretty regularly projects that are instigated from staff and faculty, and we're trying to kind of encourage more student-led projects. There used to be a student life levy on the Waterloo campus. It doesn't exist anymore as a result of the continuation of that fee not passing a referendum. But some of the kind of noteworthy types of projects that have been student funded have been things like enhancements to, study and lounge space and that sort of thing, student-led conferences or colloquiums, that sort of thing. So basically it's anything kind of outside of your regular kind of academic teaching and learning contexts, anything kind of extracurricular. And so the kind of trick is to get students to be interested in and apply to it. So that's again where we're kind of looking for feedback.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. So essentially it's just a fund, and it's open to Brantford students. So whatever, special projects that they have up, that enhances student life, they're able to, submit the proposal and for how much money they want to be they want to be given or awarded, and the committee sits down and like decides on who gets it and who doesn't. Usually we're very generous with the money that we give out. Again, this year was 215,000 that has been carried out over the years, but it's a lot of money that we're offering Brantford students. But one thing that we noticed this year is that we haven't had a lot of student-led projects. It was mostly staff. And while the projects may have enhanced student life in some way or the other, they're not student-led. It was mostly people like, staff members are seeing this amount of money and they're like, oh, well, that's free money we could take. I think, and that was an issue that we had for last meeting, for the committee's meeting. And I guess this year we had to set a precedent where like, okay, like we had to approve some, staff-led projects because there just wasn't enough student-led projects on the committee. And that is a problem because that's a lot of money Brantford students are paying and they're not being, reimbursed for that, like in a way. So what we need is some advertisement strategies on your end. Like how best do you think we can reach Brantford students and let them know that there's like, a pot of gold, literally, a huge fund of money that they can take but do not know exists. So how best can we communicate our fund is what I'm asking for. Yes, Dr. Ernest?
So this is just when we booth at Brantford, we could just add that information to the OLC kind of script. So we can, on our end, we can verbally advertise it. But that's just like minus then I'm just thinking posters, maybe almost like a townhouse kind of thing where you tell students about there's a fund, but this has to be done on the Brantford campus.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my.
Thank you. Dr. Ward? Over here.
Oh.
There we go. So yeah, I found with our boothing in Brantford, there was a problem with not necessarily engagement, but getting people there. There just wasn't a lot of people we found on campus. Might have been just our one time there. But I was almost wondering if we could like make some sort of initiative where there's a project where we emphasize that this fund is going on and almost make it like a competition in a sense, or at least just something to formalize it and help people engage just rather than letting them know it's there because while that's very helpful and might get them to start up, almost making it formalized might help them and encourage.
I believe Director Anas mentioned something about posters. I think that's a really good idea. Especially a way to get students to kind of be more engaged subtly, right? It's one thing when you talk to them at a booth and they're in a rush to go to class and they're not really interested versus they take the time to read the poster and see what happens. A big catch is if you put the prize money up in the center bolded and then you can have how you get there in footnote. I mean, I'm not sure if Brantford campus is really popular with like business or kind of students the way Laz is, because I know that would be something really popular here. Like I know they have the case comps and other things related to that sort. Could be something like that where you promote it as a end of year competition.
Thank you. 1 second. Dr. Murphy?
Yeah, one thing I've noticed works very well for students is kind of those email chains on Outlook. I don't know if we'd have the ability to be able to do that, but getting those mass emails out to Brantford students, I'm not sure who we'd have to go through for that, but I've noticed like I see a lot of things on emails about opportunities and it gets the word out to me, so I think it would help with other students similar to our age groups and hopefully that can get the word out more.
Thank you. And Dr. O'Leary?
I was just gonna ask what's like being done to promote it already.
Yeah, so it's the SLL is adjudicated twice a year, so once in the fall term and once in the the winter term. And it's currently communicated through alumni and development from the university. So there is some degree of communication, but we've identified that there are clearly lots of gaps. So anything's kind of, I think, on the table at this point. But yeah, it's currently communicated out by the university in different forms.
I definitely think we should post stuff on social media then. That's how I get all my information for school. I don't really do anything other than check the Instagram accounts.
Yeah, if we can get something into the Brantford Laurier Instagram, like a story maybe, an Instagram story specifically could work.
These are good ideas. I also want to say that on the committee, there are 2 spots available for Brantford students, like that they would have to be there. But we do have spots available as well for Waterloo students. So if you ever do want to sit on the committee just to be able to see the type of projects we're getting and how much money we can approve, you're more than welcome to sit down and come to the meeting. The winter one has passed, but the fall one has passed, but you're welcome to the winter one. Just let me know. In terms of marketing too, can we have some everything that we're talking about? Like, is there like a specific SAU newsletter just for Brantford, or is it both? Campus like Brantford, yeah. So if we could have that advertised there, that would be good. Some posters in different buildings would be good as well. Can we even have like SU members going to certain classes? Like I don't know if BTM is there anymore, but certain arts projects would be more suited to this competition idea. Something to look into. Yep, good.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we can kind of collect everything and then figure out what's realistic, who is able to take the lead on it. But yeah,
Okay.
happy to take any and all ideas at the moment.
Thank you. And if you have any other ideas as well, you can reach out to our Brantford director, who would be the best point of contact for marketing. Putting on the spot there. No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. She's on the OC. Yeah. Oh, Mike is on. Okay. Oh, Dr. Ward said that you can also reach out to the OLC. Oh yeah. Speak into the mic, Dr. Ward. What is wrong with
You
you?
could also reach out to me and Sawab here. Sorry about that.
I believe we're deciding on scheduling one more booth in Brantford. Yeah, so we can have some posters done or some sort of like advertising done for that as well. When is the next SLL winter meeting?
So the meeting will be sometime in March. So in the, I imagine they'll start communicating it kind of late January in and around there.
Okay. We will add that to our OLC advertising agenda as well. So that should be done. Okay. Are there any other comments, concerns on SLL? No? No? Okay. I think that was only for discussion. Can we proceed to the referendum questions approval? Ian, take it away.
Yes, so one of the things that the board does each year ahead of our election process is obviously communicate a period for referendum questions to be submitted, which we did earlier in the term. The deadline for those were this past week. So we collect any potential referendum questions that are eligible for sponsorship by the board of directors. Those get vetted at the non-tuition fee protocol committee, which is a joint committee between the university, the students union, and the graduate student association, which occurred yesterday. And then the questions come to the board for formal approval, which is what's happening today. As it's kind of outlined in the brief, the board's job is not to kind of cast judgment on the question being asked, but more determine whether the question is able to be asked as it's posed. Does it meet the requirement and criteria that we have set forward for questions? The two questions submitted this year are both increases to existing fees. So that makes your job a bit more straightforward because you're not determining the legitimacy or the applicability of a new fee. You're just vetting a proposed increase to an existing fee. So you'll see we have two increase referendum questions, one related to the Faculty of Music student accompanist fee. Important to note that question will only be asked of Bachelor of Music undergraduate students. So it's only because it's a faculty specific fee that the people who are asked that question are limited. The second is for all Waterloo and Brantford students. Those are the two campuses that pay the international students overcoming war fee. Now that we have Milton students, there'll be some distinction because there are fees that exist in Waterloo and Brantford, but don't exist in Milton. So this is an example of a Waterloo and Brantford fee only. Both of the questions pretty straightforward, just asking for increases to those fees. Happy to answer any questions about the logistics or your role as the board. Otherwise, we do require a motion to approve the question, and then they would appear on the ballot in January, and all relevant students will have the ability to cast their vote in terms of whether they agree or not with paying a higher value.
Thank you, Ian. Can you talk more about the criteria that the board would have to decide on?
So in this context, the criteria has already essentially been set because the questions exist. So that more comes into play for proposed new fees. But in this particular instance, the Faculty of Music question is asking for an inflationary component to its question, which is something that is allowed. Basically, some fees are set, so it's the same value year to year. Other fees have the opportunity to raise each year according to inflation. So this fee is essentially looking to revise the mechanism of that fee to allow the inflationary increase. That contrasts a little bit with the International Students Overcoming War fee, which is a set per half credit amount, and this fee changes that value. So no flags. Usually if we do have any flags, we'll submit a separate brief with any concerns. We just present these as is for your consideration.
Thank you. Directors, do you have any questions? No? Do you understand the terms of the referendum? Yes. Corey's like, Rubia, come on. Okay, thank you. Just to make certain, the Faculty of Music is asking to an inflationary increase the music students and
That's correct. Yeah.
yeah, not to exceed 3% in accounting for inflation. For the ISO referendum, should we do you think that like this might mean that in the next elections we might see another referendum question that might increase
I mean, that's certainly something that that the board can make note of. Ultimately, students have the ability to decide whether or not
Yeah.
they wish to pay additional increase. The fee was last increased in 2022 and was approved by students, but the nature of these referendum questions are that students get to determine whether they agree to the change
fee
value.
amount.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no problem with the fee increase or whatever. I'm just saying that, like, should we either ask them to make an amendment or something that, allows for an inflationary, like inflation or
So
something
we
on the-
generally will, not every fee requires that. So we generally, unless it's stipulated otherwise, we
Mm.
will usually just present the questions as is. There's always opportunities to consult with us ahead of time if the parties to the fee want to discuss what those implications are. In this case, we would just kind of present the question as is to the board.
Okay, because I do see it increasing. ISO is a big organization, and I guess it's more just to protect their interests as well, and as students. But
Yeah, I would say that's kind of outside of the board's scope.
yeah,
for
this
this.
is out of our scope, especially for this referendum. So it's okay. I have no qualms with it. If there's no other comments or concerns on the matter, um, we will vote to approve these for to be on the ballot. So we're gonna have a motion that the Board of Directors approves the 2026 referendum questions to appear for the Faculty of Music student accompanist fee adjustment of not to exceed 3% per year for Bachelor of Music undergraduate students, and for the International Students Overcoming War increase of $1 per half credit per term to be implemented in September 1st and to appear on the ballot for the January election. This is a long motion, guys. Anyways, motion by Vice Chair Ferguson, seconded by Director O'Leary. If there's is there any discussion on the matter? Yes.
Yeah. Love the cause, by the way. Just wanted to ask, Sorry, just wanted to ask the question. Is there any more context you could give for the reason of the $1 increase per half credit term regarding the International Students Overcoming War?
Okay. So as a part of the scholarship, it's like an all-encompassing scholarship. Oh, sorry. Okay. So as a part of this scholarship, it oh, who I am? Okay. I'm Charmaine. I'm the president of ISO, International Students Overcoming War, who submitted the referendum question. And
Welcome.
oh, thank you. Okay. Am I good to go? All right, awesome. So our scholarship is like an all-encompassing scholarship. We pay for like tuition, living costs, everything like that. So as a part of the living cost fee, we haven't raised our living costs in reference to inflation for the past couple years. So that's what this is doing, is allowing us to raise our living costs for students so that yeah, they're able to better afford everything they need. Yeah. Any other questions about that?
The question about the music one.
Thank you. Yeah, I just was looking at the music one. So that's just making it align with the current collective agreement, or could you just explain that there, or oh, that's us. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
they use this program is an enhancement for our music students, and the way that the program is formalized utilizes instructors who are party to a collective agreement. So this gives the fee the ability to kind of increase with any increases to the costs associated with that instruction. So it's built to kind of make that program sustainable from year to year as costs change.
Thank you. Are there any other questions on them? I would like to thank the ISO president for answering our questions. And are there any other questions? Any concerns? No? Then we are proceeding to voting. Motion by, I'm not going to say the whole long. Director O'Leary, seconded by Director Connell, Director Murphy. I was doing so good too. By Director Murphy, if there's no discussion on the matter, then we will proceed to voting. All those opposed, all those abstaining, and all of those in favor. Motion passes 0029. I forgot about the gavel, guys. Okay, I guess in that case, the referendum questions are approved. I don't believe we have anything else to discuss in the open agenda. Vice Chair Ferguson?
Sorry, I kind of turned a blind eye to it, but do we need to discuss or at least have on the agenda the monitoring reports?
We can definitely make an amendment. So can I have a motion to amend the agenda to include the monitoring reports completed by Vice Chair Ferguson? Motion by Vice Chair Ferguson. Seconded by Director Anas. Is there any discussion on the matter? This is when you discuss. No, wait, sorry. No discussion on the matter. Let's proceed to voting. All those opposed, all those abstaining, and all those in favor. Thank you. Motion passes 0029. Okay. The floor is open. Vice Chair.
Sure. So essentially these are the monitoring reports. So the ones that were monitored in this one were GP2B. What are the ones here? BMD 2D1. And that is it, I think. There should have been one more. Wait. Nope, never mind. Just two. Okay. So there was one section that was marked as non-compliant, mainly for the reason that I'm not exactly sure whether we have this established. And I couldn't find any documentation supporting it. So I wanted to kind of bring that up to both the board and you, Ian, and see whether that is actually non-compliant or if I can switch it back to compliant. The one in question is BMD 2D1 subsection 2B, where it reads by external report, which is essentially we're getting a disinterested third party to monitor the president's interpretation of board policies, et cetera, et cetera. And to my knowledge, we don't have a third party to assess presidential compliance. I know, was it last board meeting, KPMG auditors came in and audited the financial statements, but does that also include presidential compliance?
Yeah, in the past, the external report has primarily referred to our audited financial statements. Obviously, it's not all of the monitoring reports, but it's kind of specific to the complexity of the financial reporting. So in the past, that's the evidence that has been relied upon.
Cool. All right, I can move that to compliant then. I see no reason to have it as a non-compliant, given that they have done the auditing of the financial statements. But any other discussion on anything? You see anything else in there that doesn't belong? No? All right.
I think in one of the morning reports, there's like a spelling error. There's one where you're talking about. Oh yeah, if you go to BMD 2D1B, actually, the one that you're just talking about, the non-compliant, it says instead of saying while, it's whole the board. If you go to the evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I think the motion I'm going to make is that the board will approve the rest of the monitoring reports except section BMD 2D1 2B until the vice chair can resubmit another one, okay? But other than that, good job. I like how you put like VC interpretation, so like chair interpretation. Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Ferguson, for that reminder. Can I have a motion that the Board of Directors approves the Vice Chair monitoring reports except section BMD 2D 1-2B until it's rectified and brought back to the board for approval? Motion by Director Khattab, seconded by Director Rutherford. Is there any discussion on the matter? Then, nope. Then we'll proceed to voting. All those opposed, all of those abstaining, and all of those in favor? Vice Chair Ferguson? Motion passes 0-0 to 9. Wait, guys. Okay. In that case, I believe that we are finished with the open agenda. I would like to thank you all. I want to have a motion that the Board of Directors moves to the in-camera session of the meeting. Motioned by Vice Chair Ferguson and seconded by Director Murphy. Is there any discussion on the matter? Then we will proceed to voting. All those opposed? Director Rutherford. I mean, you're allowed to oppose. It's okay. Do you oppose?
No.
Okay. All those opposed, all those abstaining, and all of those in favor? Director Shigano? I'm gonna take it as a yes. Okay, motion still does pass either way. Okay, yeah, motion passes 0-0 to 9. We will now proceed to an in-camera session. I'll see you all in there. Thank you, Sachpreet, for attending this meeting. We were happy to have you. To our gallery, this is where we're gonna have to ask you to leave now. Thank you all for coming. We were happy to here. Please take some Timbits.